Hey, welcome back to the show. Now that we're back from Christmas break, I'm attempting to teach you one of the hardest things you can learn about writing a book, and that is how to revise it. So the first thing you want to do before anything else is celebrate, because you just finished an incredible journey and you're all done with your book. And then set the book aside for at least a week to 4 weeks. And I know that's going to be really hard, but you really want to refresh your mind. You want to distance yourself from the work so that when you go back, you're not going to make the same editing and revision mistakes that you've been making the whole time. So the first thing you want to do when you come back is you want to figure out what your themes and sub-themes are by just making a list. You also want to write out the bare bones to your plot. And you want to make sure that you know the story and the character arcs for everybody. The third thing we do before revising is we research how to actually critique our work. One great resource is to participate in a workshop, and one of my favorites is the Gotham Writers Workshop. If workshops really aren't your thing, Writers Market offers paid services, and they teach you how to write, they teach you how to edit, critique other people's works, pretty much anything you're looking for when creating a book. The last one I like is called Scribophile. They are an online writing community, and if you go to their fact page and then to their critiquing page, they have a pretty lengthy list of how-tos. And finally, the revision! So, you don't want to actually revise anything on your book. You just want to have a clean piece of paper next to you and make a list or a checklist or some type of way you can keep track of everything as you read through your book. Small detail number 1, character continuity. You want to make sure that if your character is shy, she acts pretty shy all the time. Number 2 is character development. You don't want your character to be static and flat. It's always great when a character can learn something and become a new person from their troubles, or other reasons. So if your character goes from shy to outgoing, there needs to be a reason, and this is what character development can provide. And number 3, which is very important, is you need to have supporting details. Things need to happen for a reason. Larger picture details, number 1. You want to have a 3-act structure for chapters, ideas, scenes, actions, dialogue, primary plot, yada yada yada. Basically, you want there to be an introduction, a climax of some sort, and then a falling action and, a resolution for everything in your book. This means you will have to delete or revise red herrings, which are details that kind of show up and then never get mentioned again. So as you're reading along and you're making your notes, you might make a note about story evolution. Sometimes when you're reading your story, you realize that there's a greater potential or a different direction the story can go. As you keep in mind your 3-act structure, you might realize that certain scenes work better in a different order or should just be deleted altogether. So then, when you've completed your whole list, then you can go back and revise. After you've made your best darn tootin' revisions you can finally give it to a beta reader. And you can find a beta reader on an online writing community. You can also find one by asking a trusted family member or a friend. Alright, so hopefully that helped you a little bit, and if not, there are hundreds of other sources online or books you can read that will do a better job, because it really does take a whole book to teach you how to revise, unless you want to spend 5 years revising. And next week we'll go into how to edit your manuscript. Alright,